He backstabbed me. That, as far as I'm concerned, everyone can make him king for a day. When he walks by me, he should bow his head like the little man that he is.
And the Prince Naseem camp surfaced in a vitriolic exchange.
Naz has backstabbed me. He has been snidey towards me. He has been underhanded towards me. And anyone who treats me like that, I don't have anything to do with, whether it's visual or from a hearing point of view. You can't do that. I was kind. I showed him kindness. I showed him friendship. I tried to steer him.
Let me just jump in here. Chris tried to nick Naz off me years ago, and Naz gave him the rods. That's the problem. Chris Eubank come to my gym. I paid him £300 a week. Johnny Nelson stood him on his head. Earl Graham stood him on his head, and he wouldn't fight him. Naz has got more talent in his little finger than he's ever had. He come up to our gym and he watched Naz jump the ropes. He watched Naz strut around the place. And he went out and made a fortune. Not a problem. But the Boxers Association down London, he got Naz when he was up at the top of the tree, got him to one side and tried to steal him off me. And Naz come out and I tell you, Eubank was lucky I didn't finish upsetting about him. I might have been 54 at the time, but he'd have been in a bleeding fight with me, and you take that from me. He's a phony.
Let me see who's who here. Do you agree with that, Frank? What he just said?
I don't know, I weren't in the corner.
Okay. Do you agree with what he said, Matt?
Yeah, I agree with him.
Do you agree with him? If I was a weaker man, if I was a more emotional man, I'd cry. And I mean, okay, if the two of you are, well, you are a non.
Right, let's hang on, let's stop all this now. This is getting out of hand, it's getting stupid. A question was asked, you answered it, and then Brendan said his.
He's a liar.
Let's get on to the fights. Let's talk about the fights.
I mean, how do you live with yourself? You've got children. You got a wife.
Listen, you've seen it all before. When you've had you in the gym, I paid you £300 a week. Johnny Nelson stood you on your head. He jumped out of the ring. He went, I'm not sparring with him anymore. I'm not sparring with him. I can't hit him. He won't box properly.
I'm upset that what he's just said is rubbish, and he's making a fool, a mockery out of someone. I am a decent man. First and foremost, a decent. I don't lie. I don't cheat.
Once friends, now bitter enemies.
I don't wish him bad. I wish him what he deserves. And I don't think that's going to be good, because he hasn't been good to me. You have to treat people as you find them. And so, Naz, I hope your newly-wed wife gives you hell.
But Naz, you're a nice guy, so is he.
I'm a nice guy. I'm not too sure about him, I'm not too sure about him. We did used to get on. We did used to be friends before. I think it got to him with all the fame and the money.
There's always been competition. Naz claims he taught Eubank his acrobatic flips. Both like their toys and strive for the ultimate performance. And no two other British fighters have been such showmen. But their friendly rivalry took a turn for the worse on Sheffield's Full Monty show, where they shared billing. Hammered won, Eubank lost, and no thanks to his little friend at ringside who shouted support for Calzaghe.
In your heyday, tell me about the rivalry between you and Naz. Was it over the flip over the rope? What was it? I know, but I've got to ask the questions.
You know the truth.
He knows the truth.
You know the truth.
He knows the truth.
You were in the same gym.
Us.
Well,
you tell us.
The truth is, Naseem is, I believe, 8 years younger than me. Trading. Naseem said on ITV that I'd copied his moves. He said to me in private that he was told to do it by his trainer and manager at the time. I said, but how could you do this? This is damaging to you. Okay. For those out there who would say, could there be any truth in it? Well, how could it be if he is 8 years younger? 1, 2, I turned pro in I was an amateur in 1983. I vaulted the rope for every single one of my amateur fights. I was living in the United Kingdom. Naseem Hamid I'd never heard of. I started boxing in New York City. So if I vaulted the rope 26 times in an amateur career which started in 1983 and vaulted the ropes every one of my professional fights except my 51st because I had bad knees, how could I have copied his moves? Doesn't make sense. Now, I'm going to leave you with this. If you go onto YouTube and get the fight up, which is Eubank against Dos Santos, the fellow who I knock out in about 20 seconds, including the count, it was a pleasure. Sorry, okay, right. If you should, if you should watch it, maybe 90 seconds to 2 minutes after the knockout, you'll see a young man who is about, he must be about maybe 15, standing, looking, and he's looking like this. Let me get a look at him. He had this look on his face. You can watch it now.
September 1990.
September 1990.
We're going to ask.
Watch that. No, watch the fight, and you'll see